year, 800 million liters of apple juice are produced. To manufacture this enormous quantity, machines harvest over 100,000 tons of apples from local farms. But how is industrial apple juice made? Discover how apples are processed in factories to obtain juice on a large scale. The apple juice production process begins with the harvest. Around 90% of juice production takes place during the harvest season in October from September, when apples have developed their full flavor, shaken off the trees, and harvested in various ways. The tree shaking machine grasps the trunk with its hydraulic arm, vigorously shakes it for a few seconds, and 60 kilograms of apples fall to the ground. While most apples for eating are still hand-harvested, this machine can shake 100 tons of apples in a single day without any issues. It's just one of the local farms supplying the factory with 100,000 tons of apples each year. From September to late November, processing activities in fruit juice companies are in full swing. 800 million liters of apple juice are produced annually between apple deliveries at collection points and subsequent processing, taking a maximum of 24 hours. As soon as the apples arrive, the production of apple juice begins. Apples are delivered to the factory from local farms during the harvest season. 4 of these huge trucks arrive every hour. It is crucial for apples to be fresh and in good condition upon reaching the factory. The process starts when a conveyor belt transports apples to an inspection area. A stream of 90 tons of recycled water causes apples to fall into 4 water channels. Apples fall in the opposite direction to the conveyor belt so that leaves and unwanted materials adhere to the belt. The initial inspection discards any damaged or spoiled apples. Fresh and high-quality apples are essential for producing delicious and healthy juice. The factory annually transforms 40,000 tons of this fruit into apple juice. After the initial inspection, apples are sorted based on size, color, ripeness, and quality. This sorting process helps ensure that only the best quality apples are used in juice production. Defective apples are separated for use in other purposes, such as compote production. Once sorted, apples undergo an additional cleaning stage to remove dirt, dust, and potential surface contaminants. This is achieved through a water washing process, entirely automated in modern processing facilities. Apples are temporarily stored in silos for several hours before progressing to the processing stages. It is important to maintain apples at controlled temperature and humidity to preserve their freshness until they are used in the next step of the process. Additional quality analyses, such as acidity measurement, sugar content, and other parameters, are conducted to determine the quality and flavor profile of the apples. Selected apples are transported from the storage area to a washing station. In this station, apples pass through a series of rollers and brushes that wash them with water, helping to remove dirt, dust, and other visible residues from the apple surfaces. After the initial wash, apples undergo a disinfection process to eliminate potential pathogenic microorganisms like bacteria and fungi that may be present on the fruit skin. Once apples are disinfected, they are rinsed again with clean water to remove any residue from the disinfectant solution and ensure they are ready for the next step of the process. Washed and disinfected apples are transported to an area where they are allowed to drain and dry before proceeding with the process. This helps eliminate excess water that could dilute the juice during the extraction process. Next, clean and safe apples are transported to the peeling station. Apples are peeled to remove the skin, carried out by specialized machines using blades to efficiently remove the skin. Apple skin typically contains more solids, which are insoluble and can impart a bitter taste, so removing it is crucial to obtain clear and flavorful juice. There's a grinding plate equipped with 28 serrated blades that, at 1,500 revolutions per minute, cut the fruit into bite-sized pieces to soften the puree and prepare it for juicing. The mill adds a natural enzyme called pectinase that initiates a chemical reaction. What the enzymes do is break down the cell structure of the apple so that when it's pressed, it releases more juice. During shredding, cores and other inedible parts of the apples can be removed. This ensures that only the pulp of the apples, containing the highest juice content, is used in juice production. Subsequently, apple pieces are taken to maceration tanks, where they will remain for 60 to 90 minutes. These apple pieces travel through 120 meters of pipes to 650-ton tanks. The mashed pulp is pumped into a powerful hydraulic press. The press is filled with 9 tons of pulp and forces the juice through 288 filtering handles. Inside the press, the filter handles retain the skins, seeds, and stems of the apples. This allows for extracting as much juice as possible from the crushed apples and effectively separating solid particles from the pulp. In the powerful presses, the liquid is squeezed from the pulp at high pressure. The goal is to break the cells of the pulp and release the juice contained within. At this stage, the juice is essentially a cloudy liquid due to the presence of suspended solid particles. The pulp and leftover pieces of skin and seeds are heated to produce methane, which is converted into cleaner and more ecological energy. Incredibly, apple pulp can provide energy for 1,000 homes every year. The extracted apple juice is channeled through a pipeline to storage tanks, leaving behind the unwanted parts of the apple. This juice is cleaner and clearer compared to the one obtained in the crushing stage, as it has been more effectively separated from the pulp and fibers. The juice is filtered to remove smaller particles and obtain a clearer and cleaner juice. Quality control is strict at every stage of the process. Juice samples are taken to assess their quality and ensure that manufacturing parameters are well controlled. Adjustments can be made to the juice during this process to achieve the desired taste and characteristics. This may include adding ascorbic acid to preserve the color and natural apple flavor, as well as adjusting the balance of sugars and acids to achieve the desired flavor profile and adding preservatives to further extend the product's shelf life. The crushed and separated apple juice is temporarily stored in refrigerated tanks to keep it at an appropriate temperature and prevent the proliferation of microorganisms. Once cooled, the juice flows through these immense tanks. The next step is pasteurization. Apple juice is pumped into a heat exchanger. During this stage, the juice is gradually heated to a specific temperature. The temperature and heating time vary according to regulations and manufacturer specifications, but usually range between 75 and 90 degrees Celsius. Once the juice reaches the desired temperature, it is held at that temperature for a specified time. This is known as the holding period, and its duration depends on the temperature used and food safety requirements. The goal is to ensure that all harmful microorganisms are eliminated after the holding period. Apple juice is rapidly cooled to a safe temperature. Once the juice has been pasteurized and cooled, it is temporarily stored in refrigerated tanks. To prevent contamination and ensure product quality, it undergoes a homogenization process. This involves passing the juice through a machine that breaks and mixes added particles, ensuring a uniform distribution of ingredients in the juice. The apple juice is now perfectly filtered. Its clarity, as well as its taste, color, and sugar content, are verified. As it is produced in October, it needs to be preserved throughout the year. A portion of the production is stored in this tank to be bottled throughout the year. Apple juice is pumped from refrigerated storage tanks to filling machines. These machines fill the containers with the precise amount of juice, ensuring that each product has the same liquid quantity. These small containers are filled at a rate of 100 per minute. 2 small sprays of hot glue are applied to the containers. This ensures the straws stay in place in the container. Another automated production line fills the bottles. Every minute, 120 bottles of pasteurized apple juice are sealed. Once the bottles are filled, they are tightly sealed to prevent the entry of external contaminants. This helps maintain the freshness and quality of the juice during its shelf life. After being filled and sealed, the bottles go through labeling machines. Once packaged and labeled, the products are ready to be shipped to stores and supermarkets.